I'm sure you've seen a lot of your classmates who were toppers in school and college, but when it came to the real world, they didn't see that same level of success. Or maybe you are one of those same individuals who might be doing well in life, but you're not at the same level that you expected to be. In fact, I was just like one of y'all. And I remember looking ahead at that mystical land of success, hoping that one day I would reach there because of my past activities. But then I realized that that is not the case. And so I made some pivotal changes to the way I thought and therefore the way I acted that has transformed my life. And I want to help you do the same. Hey guys, my name is Elson. Welcome back. And in this video, I'm going to be walking you through why students who do so well in colleges and school end up doing poorly or average in life. This is not to say that just because you did well in school and college means that you're going to do poorly in life, but I'm going to raise some red flags for those of you who assume that just doing well in school and college is enough for you to do well in life as well. Number one, competition is for losers. Right from when we begin, we look at our classmates as competition. While that sort of competition does exist in the real world, you achieve a lot more through collaboration. If a problem was thrown at me back in school and I would ask my nearby friend for help, that would be called as cheating. But the truth is, in the real world, that sort of cheating is allowed and is even encouraged. So remember, competition is for losers. Number two, being a teacher is extremely hard. I want to emphasize that this point is not a diss against my teachers or your teachers. In fact, if it wasn't for our teachers, we wouldn't be where we are right now. But what I'm trying to tell you is that most of your teachers in school and college are extremely underpaid. And because of this, they don't have the motivation or the incentives to go beyond teaching and more of mentoring. And guess who is going to be paying the price for this underpayment? It's you. You're going to have to drive down all of that outdated curriculum and be assessed through those vanity metrics. And remember, these things are just shortcuts and you don't get ahead in life through those shortcuts. Number three, and this point is an extension of our previous point, and that is the outdated syllabus that you are being assessed for in school. You see, it's a lot more easier to teach you things of the past and history because that's a lot more predictable. Your curriculum is not relevant to the present or even the future. And because of this, most of you toppers who have emphasized so much on learning things of the past are not fit for the skills that are required in the future. And even if a teacher or the school wants to make those changes, there's a lot of administration and bureaucracy that they have to navigate. And for this reason, if you're a topper that is heavily relying on that outdated syllabus, know that that's not going to help you for the future or for your careers. Number four is too much focus on the what and not enough focus on the why or the how. Has anyone ever asked you how you're preparing for the exam or why you're studying what you're studying? No, most of the time, what they ask you is how much marks you got, how well you did in that exam. What I realized is that all of the things or most of the things that I studied in school and college has probably had no relevance to my career right now. But what did have relevance is the way I took notes in class, is the way I tried to keep myself motivated during the preparation of the examination. You'll realize that all of that target that you're hitting, trying to score that extra marks was never what you were supposed to be focusing on. In fact, what you were supposed to focus on is your throwing action or your hitting action at that target. The target was not the target. Number five, you become too late to apply the skills that you were taught. This is especially the case in India, where there's so much focus on theoretical knowledge in exams, which is what most toppers are really good at. But you end up becoming too late to apply those skills in your career and in the real world. What is needed is just one or two skills and an emphasized focus on them. You don't need to be an expert in that entire theoretical knowledge that you as a topper would be focusing on during your school days. Number six, the fear of failure. I remember this one incident, a neighbor of mine who was also a good friend. And he was coming back from school one day and he had this white paper slip in his pocket. And I could see in his eyes the fear that he had when he had to present that paper slip, because on it was written that he as a student had failed his exams and had to repeat the year. I remember that entire week there was just so much of commotion and fights going on because he had apparently disappointed his family. What followed for the next few months is that we barely saw each other. I remember he started wearing those glasses and he I could barely see him out of his house because most of the time he was being forced to study. That fear of failure causes a deep emotional trauma within you. In the real world, you need to fail. I know it sounds cliched, but failures are the stepping stones to success, and there are no other stepping stones. You have to complete those failures. And if you're a topper and you're scared of making those small failures, you're not going to be able to go ahead in life. Number 7, the false sense of achievement. There's this beautiful quote from the Batman series where Bane tells Batman, "Peace has cost you your strength. Victory has defeated you." You see, complacency hits you when you least expect it. When you're in school and college as a topper, you're constantly getting those pats on your back and those tick marks that you've excelled in life. But the truth is, in the real world, you're not going to be getting those pats on the back. In fact, most of your efforts are going to go unnoticed. If you did well in school, you're being constantly thrown those praises and you start to feel like you actually are the best. But the truth is, the best is a very transient phenomenon. In fact, those who are not the best have that advantage because they're constantly going at it. Number 8, the importance of a holistic life. You see, back in school, all of the emphasis is on getting better marks. And by getting better marks, you might get into a better college. And by getting a better college, you might get a better career. But there's so many more games to play in life than just wealth. There's health, there's relationships. I remember this one incident from school when a bunch of us were sitting in class and we were just talking and having fun. But the teacher caught us and she made all of us stand up. And she told us, all this friendship that you guys have, that's never going to last. In fact, some of you are going to be doing better and then you're going to get jealous. And she told us, stop focusing on friendships. Instead, focus on getting better marks than him. Today, I look back and I feel that was not the best advice. I miss those friendships. I miss having relationships and focusing on other elements of my life as well. And I realized that just getting those better marks was not what I wanted from life in general. Number 9, the fear of breaking rules. Now, we have all come across those stories and biographies of exceptional individuals who did poorly in school. The reason is because exceptional people find it hard to conform to rules. They start to thrive in the real world because they realize that there is no such thing as rules. In fact, most rules are just guidelines. Schools enforce uniformity, and that's why most of the students who did well in going that narrow path end up doing bad in real life, because in the real world, it pays to step out of that conventional road, because that's the only way that you're going to be stepping and standing out of the noise. With that, we are at the end of this video. And I want to summarize one strong point, that schools are great for most people, but it's not the only thing you need. You need to take ownership of your life and go above and beyond what is being taught in school. In some cases, you might have to unlearn those habits that have creeped into your life through your schooling. And finally, one last quote from a fellow backbencher. And it goes like this. If you're sitting in the front of your class, on the first bench, you get to see the blackboard quite clearly. But if you're sitting on the last bench, you get to see a lot more. With that, we are at the end of this video, and if you enjoyed and took some nuggets of experience, consider giving us a like and share it with your friends who need to hear this advice. Also, mention in the comments whether you were a topper or whether you were a failure. And if there are any points that I missed in this video, do put it in the comments as well. I'll see you in the next one.